the spiral model. First, it's not a circular model. It's not a circuit. It's a spiral. Okay. This spiral is the core of this SDLC model. So this is a software development model proposed by the great Barry Boehm. So here we will see different kind of observation people have for this particular model. So I'll take all the observation. So this spiral model is an evolutionary process, software process model. That is, it will evolve. You'll start with a small version, then you will increase. So it includes the waterfall model, the systematic and controlled approach of a waterfall model, and the iterative nature of prototype. Somewhere you will hear that it is iterative plus waterfall model. No, it's a waterfall model with the prototype model, and the prototype will be iterative in nature. The prototype will be iterative. Prototype will go in loops. You will make one prototype, then another prototype, and then you will follow the systematic route of waterfall model. And you know waterfall model have one by one. There is no coming back. But here, when you make a prototype, there is a coming back. From communication till deployment. This is the controlled and systematic waterfall model because it is a well-defined model. But you are adding the prototyping and the iterative nature of prototyping. Okay. So let me tell you, you will hear that this is how this 4 quadrants you will see in a spiral model. First, you have to plan. Now you have a budget. You have to plan according to the budget. You have to plan what will be the development. You have to plan the project. You have to plan the time, cost, schedule, everything, and the test planning. Then you have to determine the goal in the second quadrant. That is, what are the alternatives? What are the constraints beyond which you cannot go? Then finally, the most important part of this spiral model is evaluating the risk. Every time, for every spiral, there is a full quadrant given to the risk analysis. What are the risks? That will cost you the cost, budget, and the time. Then finally, the development and the test. Development test is, you're using all the SDLC part, whichever you choose. Okay, here we'll be using the waterfall model. Okay, the 4th quadrant is all about the waterfall model. So risk analysis is an important part. The 4th one is development test. From here you will start with the requirement, then analysis design, and then you will do the coding, then testing, and finally the deployment. Verification, validation, deployment, like this. So this, how far you go will be the cost. This is the distance, and this is the angular distance is where you are in this spiral model. So what Barry Boehm has said, because he is the creator of this model. So he said, this is a rapid development. Every time we get a complete version of the software, increasingly complete version of the software. So if you have a big project, complex project, the spiral model is a risk-driven process model generator. This is a definition. You don't have to learn it, but just understand. He is saying that it is risk-driven process model. And this is for software-intensive system. So you are applying different concurrent engineering aspect, software engineering aspect here. So this spiral model is different from others. It has 2 distinguishing features. One is a cyclic approach. You see here, it is like a cycle. One cycle you go to complete certain work. Then again, you have to go to another cycle, right? So in cyclic approach, you are incrementally growing the system degree of definition. That is, you are understanding more and then implementing so that you can decrease the risk. The second distinguishing feature is the anchor point milestone. Because once you complete one spiral, there has to be some output. And what is the output? Which is agreed upon and satisfying the consumer. Because you are committed to the stakeholder. So anchor point milestone is you are giving something to them. Okay. Software here in spiral model is developed in series of evolutionary releases. Version 1, version 2, version n. When you start the iterations, iteration is all about looping. You're going all loop once, then again like this. So when you do the early iteration, the release might be a prototype. It can be a model also. That is why we are saying it is iterative nature of prototype plus the waterfall model. So first maybe the prototype, then you go to other different iteration. Here you will give version 2, version 3 like this. Now this spiral model, if we just take the framework activities, because we know the basic SDLC framework activities are communication, planning, modeling, construction, deployment. So how do we define the spiral model with respect to the framework activity? we have to communicate, then plan, then model, then construct. That is, actual coding is done here, and filing the deployment. So how do we use this spiral model? So spiral model is divided into, if you take a circle, let me make a circle, then there are certain segment, you can call it as sector. So every sector will represent the framework activity from communication till deployment. For example, we are starting with communication. So this part, this segment of the spiral is for communication. This particular part will be for communication because you are communicating and getting the requirement from the user. Now you are planning. That is what will be your schedule, time, project planning, the development plan, the test plan, and here you are going to use the risk analysis. This is very important. Then you will go to the third segment, modeling, analysis, design. Then you will go to the fourth, construction, and then you are going to deployment. So this is the clockwise direction you have to go. You'll start with the center. So the software team is going to perform this activity. Every circle, you can say, or every spiral activity will give certain result. And every time you have to do the risk analysis. In this case, we are talking about the framework activity. Here we are taking one segment where we will do this risk analysis. An anchor point milestone, as I said, there will be some output, the work product. And for one evolutionary pass, that is one spiral you complete, there will be some milestone. There will be some work product, there will be some release version. And how do we understand this? Initially, we are not much aware. We don't want to develop it. First circuit, you can say that we are developing the product specification or the requirement you are generating. You are understanding the software. This is the first one. You can understand it like this. First spiral, you are trying to generate the requirement. So here also you have to do all the thing. That is, you have to do the risk analysis. You have to do, because maybe first we'll develop a prototype. For that you have to do the development also activity. And every time you do it, every pass, you are adjusting, because this is all about your software manager. You are adjusting the plan. So here the plan can also be adjusted. Most of the SDLC plans cannot be adjusted. Here a plan can be adjusted because you are getting the delivery. And you are saying that you are getting feedback also. So the cost and schedule can be readjusted. So now the project manager will decide how many iteration it wants, because the spiral cannot go on and on. So the first circuit, as I said, can be said as the concept development project. This is the core of the spiral. And then this is the first one. Okay. Because this is a risky project. Maybe it is a complex project. It is a big project. For that, it is mandatory to understand the concept. As I said, this output can be just a model or it can just be a prototype. Then you move ahead to the next round or iteration of the spiral. Here you are saying that we are actually developing the project. So new product development project. Third, it can be enhancement, because once you have developed, it can be enhancement. You need to enhance the software because the changes or the requirement can come. And finally, the other spiral, the outward spiral, can be the support or the maintenance, product maintenance project, you can say. So this spiral model is a realistic approach, what you see here, for large scale system, big softwares. And here we use the prototyping, very important, the iterative nature of prototyping for a risk reduction. Because if you make the whole software and there is a problem, you will lose the time and budget. So better to make a prototype and put it in front of the user. There will be a risk reduction, and even the software team will know what are the risks. So here we are applying the prototype approach for risk reduction every time, because it is iterative prototyping. Okay. It is not iterative. No, it is prototyping iteration. So you can do the prototyping at any stage of the software development lifecycle, here framework activities. So it also, once you have done this prototyping, then you will maintain the classic life cycle. So classic life cycle is the waterfall model. You will start with communication, planning, modeling, construction, deployment in a serial manner. Okay. So every time you may have a prototype in between also. So the problem with spiral model is, first of all, you can see it's quite complex. But it is for the complex project. It is very difficult to convince the customer, because customer may not know certain things, that you can control it or not. And the main part of this spiral model is risk analysis. If you know the quadrant I told you earlier, there is one part whole dedicated to risk analysis. If the person who is dedicated to the work he may not be competent to find out the risk, and that will be a disaster, because the risk analysis is the core part of the spiral model. If the major risk remain uncovered, the problem, the cost, the estimation will all fail. So this is the spiral model problems, but still it is being used widely.